This is Laura DeFranco, holistic physical therapist and owner of Brave Healer Productions. I'm excited to bring you my new holistic healing series where you're going to learn from the experts what it means to live fiercely alive, mind, body, and soul. I invite you now to take a breath, relax, and feel the vibe of the words my guest has to share with you today. Welcome, everybody. Okay, let's get right to it. Thank you for being here. I am super excited as usual because you guys, I get excited about things, but I have Anna Pereira here today, the founder of the Wellness Universe, and we are going to talk about happiness. And who doesn't need a little bit more happiness right now? So Anna Pereira is a wife, advocate, inspirational leader, and founder of the Wellness Universe. Her mission is to make the world a better place. She brings together wellness professionals, content, and creates events and resources for personal and professional transformation via her Wellness Universe, a one-stop shop for all things wellness. And you guys know I'm going to hook you up with her website in the show notes. Welcome, Anna.
Thank you, Laura. I appreciate this opportunity. Thank you for having me.
I should say welcome back because you have been here before, and we're going to talk a little bit about why you're back. But first, I want the viewers to kind of understand a little bit about how the Wellness Universe came about. Can you tell us a little bit of that story?
Sure. And I want to thank you for that opportunity for sharing this specific story, because obviously it's near and dear to my heart. It's my calling. It's what I do day in and day out now is to support the Wellness Universe and all of our amazing members and people through their journey to well-being. So back in 2013, and this is almost going to sound canned because I've told the story so many times, but it hasn't lost its, zap of excitement of when this happened and what happened. In 2013, I literally had a download. I was at my kitchen table. I was doing my Circles of Inspiration page on Facebook, which was the start of me, networking with amazing, inspirational coaches, guides, teachers, healers, authors. And from that, in 2013, I got the download saying there needs to be a space created for all of these amazing people who are making the world a better place, these world changers, if you will, and you're the one to do it. So I kind of held on to that little inspiration for a few months. And then I started the journey with a few women. And as you know, Laura, the wonderful Sherry Elise was on the journey with us for about 6 years, creating the Wellness Universe. And now here we are entering into our 7th year. And the Wellness Universe could not have been given to me at a more divine time, knowing that what we're going through now and getting to know and build these relationships with all of these amazing and remarkable healers and therapists and doctors and guides and coaches to help them to help more people by having this platform where people can connect with them, where they can distribute their message and their content. And we come together on projects like this. So thank you so much for creating this amazing book project that we've entered into and now creating an entire series to help connect the healers with the people seeking the help.
Okay, so back up. Seriously now. Because I heard you say this little inspiration came to me. I'm like, this is a big ass inspiration. Like, back then, were you even, so maybe you weren't even realizing back then how big? Talk to me about that.
Yeah, I mean, the vision was big. And honestly, from a business perspective, when I put it down and did my mind map of what I wanted the Wellness Universe to be, and it was more than just this virtual space and this, very, how do you say it? Small relationships. And I mean by small relationships, I mean by taking the relationships that we have with these amazing people and creating intimate relationships with them and creating big relationships with them, dynamic, value-based, impactful relationships with them. Because on Facebook, it was just very like in passing, and you couldn't really say that someone was family or a friend. But here at the Wellness Universe, you can. So when that vision came to me, I had no idea of how transformational relationships would be through being in the wellness universe, and how many lives we would touch, and also the projects that we were going to get involved in. But I did always have this vision for it to be global, for us to hold retreats like we are doing, for us to have online meetups and things like that, but to really change lives. Like when I've had healers come to me and say that this is their home, or that they've been saved from suicide because they found their community and their place, as well as those who seek change, connecting with one of our members and maybe would have never found them if it wasn't through the channels of the wellness universe. That to me is much bigger. Like standing in that energy is so much bigger than I could have imagined, because it was like, oh, let's do this. It's very exciting, and this is wonderful and it's going to change the world. But really sitting in that, it's much bigger than I could have imagined. So yeah.
Yes. Oh man. I mean, the energy, everything that you're talking about today, this morning, has got a beautiful energy to it that has grown since I've been a member. We're going to talk a little bit more about membership in a few minutes, but this book project, let's talk about that. So you had wanted to do a book for a while, right?
Well, the thing was, because I never embrace what the titles that people give me, people say, you could be an amazing author, amazing writer, and all of these things. And I was just like, no, no, no. Also, what was being presented to me didn't really vibe with me or what I wanted for the wellness universe. Essentially the wellness universe, what I've built, the brand, the culture, what it really means, the significance of it. I didn't really have a gut reaction or a knee-jerk reaction to someone saying, oh yes, that project excites me, I can't wait to do that. And I really didn't have the bandwidth to pick up and do a book on my own or create that project on my own. So when you came to me with this scenario of our members sharing their story, and through their story, this is how we connect with them, this is how we meet them, and then them sharing a tool to help people heal, then of course that hit me like a ton of bricks. And I was like, absolutely yes, right away. And then to just immediately shift and say, this isn't just one book, this is a series.
Yes, I'm sitting here like I'm about to have whiplash with the head nodding. I'm thinking back to my year. I just want to tell you all that my mission with Brave Healer Productions has been huge this year. And Anna has been such a big part of that success. So thank you so much for trusting me, believing in the idea. I wanted the world to have tools to heal at home. And so when I started the collaborative book project idea, I had a different, speaking of bigger visions, I had a bigger vision in my head about what I wanted that to be. And I was nervous to come to you at first, just thinking, oh, I don't know what she's going to say, whatever, but you missed 100% of the shots you don't take, right, guys? So you have to take those shots. And the first book that we did together for the Wellness Universe, 25 Tools for Stress Relief, right? Thank you. I knew you were going to hold that up with me. Beautiful cover art by Linda Goldman. Thank you, Linda, for that. And all of these amazing authors sharing their authentic stories. The project was amazing. We have amazing people being a part of it. Wise, intelligent, skilled, heart-centered, compassionate professionals, experts. Right. So when you get that many together, you can't help but have amazing energy. So we wanted to tackle stress, and we're about to tackle happiness, which is a big subject. I think it's harder. So tell me a little bit about why and your thoughts about this happiness topic.
Well, it's really a great discussion, actually, because a lot of people say, oh, well, happiness is fleeting. Happiness isn't a real feeling. It's an airy feeling. Joy is really what people want. But honestly, right now, I feel the word happiness is so needed. We just need happiness in our life, because joy is like, you understand what it is for everything to be okay, and everything to be good. And then you're jumping off into joy. And that's that deep, deep divine connection to really expressing you know, all of the wonderful things. But right now, we are all so, like, we're here. Our energy is so high and we're vibrating. And I don't mean high in the sense that like we're elevated. I mean, our alert is up, our fears are up. We've gone through so much. We've gone through so much for so long. It's changing us in many ways, and a lot are for the good, because we're realizing what is precious to us, what, you know, what we really need in our lives for us to be happy. But some of us are still searching, right? And some of us sometimes need just those tools, or to carve out that time in the day to practice something, to let it enter into our lives. So to me, this, after stress, stress relief tools, because obviously that's the first layer. We have to kind of like unplug, pull the plug out of the wall and stop getting that electric current fed into us for a moment and just stop. And now, how do we take that moment that we're like, whew, and then turn that into happiness? So that's why it was really important to me that in addition to, again, when I was inspired, when you came to me, that this has to be a series, it's almost like a progression of us and what we're ready for next. So after we de-stress, after we're like at a balanced place, now we can bring in some happiness to our lives.
I want to talk a little bit about the mindset of happiness. I believe that mindset is one of the keys to it, but I really just want to say a quick thank you to all of our authors who have been in this stress relief book and who are now in our happiness book. Thank you, honestly, for stepping up to say yes to this project and for taking on the challenge and sometimes for the very first time, we have authors sharing their authentic, real, raw, badass stories for the first time to the world in black and white out loud on these pages. And y'all are brave. So that's my version of the warrior, right? Showing up in the world with your authentic self. And they say the more personal you are about your story, the more universal. The more you give somebody permission to be themselves and tell their own story, right? It's one thing that I'm so in love with, but wanted to say thank you to all of them for doing that and for being that and for having the courage. I know you feel the same way.
I absolutely do. And I thank all of our authors and members of the Wellness Universe who have taken this opportunity, because yeah, I mean, I was really, I felt it a great honor that they shared their story, and some, like you mentioned, shared it for the very first time in the way they did through the stress relief book. And also now in this happiness book, we're getting the feedback that some of them are sharing for the very first time their authentic story. And it is really a great blessing. I can't even put into words to know that, you know, you came to me and together we created this project for them to have this platform, because I know that they've gone through another level of healing for themselves. I know that they're going through, and they've gone through and are going to go through a new way of helping people. And this is all what I think this time is teaching us, again, about relationships, about, again, how we can help people, how we present ourselves to help people, how we realize our value. Like maybe they had gotten caught up in the marketing of, you know, what they're doing and didn't realize their true value. And by sharing their stories here, they really realize how important it is to share more of who they are and bring that with them. And thank you, authors. Thank you so much for what you have done with this project. I'm looking forward to the happiness book, like in a huge way. And everyone who is part of the stress relief book, thank you so much.
I'm so glad you said a couple of things there. And really, because one of the missions with my company is to honor the healing journey of the reader, right? We're offering so many powerful tools, but I had this equal mission to support the business of the author and support the author's healing journey, but also them being able to share their message out loud. And I know that the Wellness Universe shares that mission. It's what you do all day long, is help us express ourselves in all the different ways. So how perfect was it to have a book project, you know, in terms of that. So let's shift to mindset as one of the keys to happiness. You know it and have had a practice of it, as have I. The book is full of opportunities to practice this kind of mindset in different ways. So what's one thing that you want the viewers to understand about their happiness mindset?
Well, I mean, I think that one of the things for me that's important to know is that you have to let go of expectations of people or of yourself. Like, of course, we put out there our goal, but sometimes the mindset around it, you have to be a little bit more open to how things show up, so then you can get to your goal. Like if it's not showing up exactly how you want, like if you ask for, a ride to show up at your door and it's a truck and you expected, a Corvette or a Mustang.
Thank you for that.
No problem. Sometimes you got to jump into the truck if you want that ride. You know what I mean? And just be happy about it and just realize, hey, at least I got my ride to where I need to go. So, expectation is a big one for me. It's one of the things with that I talk about actually in the introduction, and how when I shifted my mindset around expectations and releasing expectations and beliefs, it really opens up doors to happiness like you can't imagine.
Yeah, the thing that I follow the most is, with awareness, we have a choice, and it really doesn't matter what is going on. We have a choice to turn our face toward the sunshine in any moment, no matter what's happening around us. I think the mindset, it gets the best of us sometimes. Old habits of thinking and believing, and the self-sabotage, the stuff that is just rote, habitual. And when I really realized, is that a good way to say that? I don't know. When I realized that I could choose, that I didn't have to just fall into that zombie, habit of worst case scenario or negativity or whatever, things started to change. And people would say, anything? Do you mean anything? Like, think about this year for a moment. This has been a hard year for people, for everybody, for so many different reasons. And even in a year like this, do we have the choice to be happy? Sure we do, right? So what would you share with somebody who may have lost a little hope, especially this year?
I would say, honestly, don't lose hope, because we're here to go on. We're here to experience these things and know that, and it sounds so redundant, but you're not alone. And if you do feel like you're losing hope, have you gone out to a friend or someone that you love or someone that you trust and just had an open conversation? If you've been bottling up, how you're feeling, maybe it's time for you to express how you feel, the fears that you're feeling, and the loneliness or isolation or whatever it may be, and express those to someone, dialogue with somebody about those things, and get them out so you can get, you can clear that space up. Because I always say, if there's a car parked in a spot, no matter what it is, it could be a feeling, it could be a belief, it could be whatever. If there's a car in that spot, another car can't take that spot. You have to take that car out of that spot for another car to move into that spot. So you have to remove those feelings that are causing you the hopelessness, or those beliefs that are causing you the hopelessness. And I think that most of it comes from us bottling up what scares us, what keeps us down, what keeps us unhappy. And when you find, and maybe you feel that you just don't feel safe talking about this, or, you just can't get to that vulnerable place, just take those brave steps and talk to someone. So then that way you can remove that and then put hope back into that parking spot, so to speak.
I was talking to my mom yesterday, and she's been alone this year, 2020, and she's doing a little house sitting for the holiday week, and she's alone there, and even a little bit more alone because she doesn't have her neighbors and friends around her, that she would see periodically. And we were just talking about the reaching out part. And I had talked to her in the morning, and I did some errands and different things. And I called her back in the same day, later that afternoon. And we often talk a couple times a day sometimes. I love you, Mom, if you're listening. And she got on the phone.
That's sweetie.
Yeah, thank you. We got on the phone that second time, and she's like, oh, I reached out to a couple of friends and we talked on the phone, and it just felt so much better. We've all been isolated. I realized I'm so not alone. And all it was just making the effort to make that phone call. Really, it's a simple thing, right? But I kind of want to transition into, if you're the person listening and you're hearing us talk about this, but you're like, well, I don't have any friends to call, or I don't have any family to call. Well, you guys, the Wellness Universe is one big family of compassionate people who you can reach out to. And this platform that Anna has built is no joke, your place to come, where you're going to be able to find people who really care about this, right? So let's spend a couple of minutes talking about being a Wellness Universe friend, a member. What do you have going on at the Wellness Universe right now?
Sure.
Tell
Well,
me
I want to actually touch on what you just said. And a matter of fact, when this whole pandemic started, we jumped into action and we created what's called the Woo Best Help section of the website. And it's at the very top across the entire site, you can access the Woo Best Help. And those are those practitioners that have come out and said that they will work pro bono, sliding scale, or reduced rate, and just be there for people. So absolutely, our members have stepped up for those in need, and we'll meet them where they are at to help them. So please reach out to our members, especially the ones listed on the Woo Best Help page. But yeah, what membership means, it means you found your family, you found your community, you found your support, your pure support. Personal support is so important for your professional success. Laura, you say this, I say this, it is the biggest thing. And I think that once somebody has been on the journey of having their own business, they understand what it is that I'm saying here. And I think this year, no matter where you were in your business prior to this year has really changed people. And again, I'm going to say it again and again, the relationships that you have and who you have around you for your support and everything else really, it's deeply rooted now in how important that is. So you find your family, you find your support as a practitioner at the Wellness Universe. Yes. Also, we give a lot of virtual support for visibility, for sending your message out, for connecting to people who are seeking what you have to offer. And of course, as a platform, and the more tangible things are that, we have 30,000 pages of content. We're easily found on Google. If you Google my name, Anna Pereira, I'm at the top of Google, typically #1 on page 1. And there's about 50 million search results for Anna Pereira. It's kind of a popular Portuguese name. So, so you get the real tangible support by being part of, by being a member of the Wellness Universe. If you want the visibility online and everything else, but more than that, we come together, we help each other with resources, pure support, in addition to give you the place to be published, to have your courses and classes and workshops, to be part of our retreat in person in Boone, North Carolina next October, Soul Treat, and that's its own dedicated site, Woo Soul Treat, WUSoultreat.com. But I mean, membership, it's really unbelievable. It's not your typical network because we offer the visibility, the place where you can give put your messaging out there and connect on person to person in a peer situation, as well as connect to potentially your ideal client. That's kind of
Yes, oh my goodness,
in a nutshell.
I'm listening to all of that, and just I want to say thank you for the different kinds of opportunities. Being able to blog for the Wellness Universe has been an amazing experience for me, being a lover of all things writing. And Learn It Live, being able to teach classes, has been an incredible opportunity. Again, Soul Treat, OMG, an amazing family of healers showing up there and seekers of healing. When I did that one in Sedona, we're going to have it coming up in October, and I am so thrilled to be able to attend. So many opportunities. It can be overwhelming sometimes. You're like, whoa, where do I start first? It should really feel like a playground, you guys, and your business is only going to be as strong as your communities this year. And I'm not talking about any kind of community. I'm talking about people who get it and who practice the things that we've talked about today, and who are really actively supporting each other and actively growing their businesses, you know, in that support. So I'm just backing you up a little bit by telling the viewers about all of that stuff. You know, I always, as a business owner, I've looked for communities who would help me up level. And there was a time in my business career where I was like, oh, I just can't find the right place to be that feels really good, but that is also effective like that, actually moving me in a direction I want to go for my vision. And the Wellness Universe, I mean, hands down, has been top of my list since I joined. So I'm going to say thank you again for that.
Thank you, Laura. And I just want to throw that back to you, because people like yourself who do the work and who really create change and make the world a better place through being so dedicated to you, to your mission, to your voice, to your purpose, that's who I want to surround myself with. I mean, I'm doing the Wellness Universe for everyone's benefit. I don't do coaching individually. I do mentoring, and of course, as a leader of the Wellness Universe, but this isn't about me and Anna Pereira's business. This is about me creating the space, almost like I say this, you know, in jest, but I say, like, I'm like the Martin Scorsese, I'm the director. Meanwhile, he makes these amazing films, and the actors are what, you know, make the film known. But he's the one, without him directing it, it's not going to happen. So to do, and I say to do the Wellness Universe because it's a thing, and be surrounded with people like yourself. It's just an absolutely amazing journey, and to partner with people like yourself to bring more to the members of the Wellness Universe so they get their message spread and they get to touch more lives. It is such a great feeling. So thank you for doing the work. Thank you for being successful in your own right. Thank you for approaching me. And thank you for helping to create this book series for, you know, everyone to benefit from. So thank you.
Well, my total pleasure. And you guys, I hope you're excited by this conversation today. I'm going to have a link below in the show notes for you to explore the Wellness Universe and membership a little further. I am always here for questions about that if you want to contact me. And we have so much coming up in terms of book projects for the Wellness Universe. That reason alone you're going to want to explore, because you're going to have benefits like really you can't imagine. So Anna, is there just any last words you want to share with the viewers today about this journey that we've been on? Help inspire them.
For those who are in the business of being a conduit for help, healing, and support, I just want to say thank you for showing up. Thank you for showing the way. Thank you for being there, because right now, who knew that this was going to happen? Who knew how much you were needed? And I just implore you to be more collaborative minded, more open to working with people and understanding that networking with people who are in the same space as you actually empowers you and empowers them. There is no shortage of work out there. Trust me when I tell you. It's just that we're going through a tough stage in life. But believe me when I tell you, when you come together with other people who are changing the world, you become more powerful too. And for those who seek wellness resources or seek a better way of life, dig deep and just be completely raw and blatantly honest with yourself to get to whatever the core of the issue is, and allow those who are there to help you, because we as a unit, a human race, we need to be our best selves to overcome what's going on, to get through this, to be a better person and for the future generations. And it's so funny that they're talking about the age of Aquarius being upon us right now, right, Laura? So
you know I'm an Aquarius, right?
And there you go. And there you go. So yeah, I mean, that's just what I want to say. You know, everyone just dig deep, be authentic, you know, understand that it is about community, collaboration, coming together in order for us all to really, you know, get over this and onto the next way where we all can live happy and enjoy our lives and impact the world in the ways that lights us up inside and fills our heart and makes the world a better place.
And thank you so much for what you're doing in the world and for being here today to share it with us.
Thank you, Laura, and you too as well. Without you, this could never have been possible. So God bless you. Thank you so much. I love you. I adore you. I stand behind you and everything you do. And everything that you're doing now, it's a culmination of everything you've done up until now. And I thank you for being that woman and taking that journey and laying that foundation. And it's only, up from here.
Thank you. All right, you guys. So head on down into the show notes, explore the wellness universe, all of the different opportunities. I love to end the show with my very favorite question ever. So here it is. What if there's something you haven't learned yet that could change everything? Right? Love that mindset. Be brave, everyone. See you next time. Love what you heard today. Don't forget to drop down and hit that subscribe button, you guys, and then join me over at bravehealer.com for just a little bit more healing badassery. Have a great one.